What is up, everybody? This is Erik, the one and only Bear Collector, and today I am doing my November 2024 video game haul. And this month, boy, oh boy, oh boy, did I get a bunch of games again. Some of them are I'm still awaiting arrival as of the making of this video. So some of them are going to be covered in the December haul. So I'll just do whatever I just received that I bought between the beginning of the month and now. But like always, let's first start with the digital downloads of the month. I bought a whole bunch of digital games that I got for a really, really good price for the Steam. So the first set of games that I bought 5 of them that came in a package. And one of those 5 is the 11th Hour, Bad Mojo, let me see. Bad Mojo, Noctropolis, Harvester, and I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Now that was a pack of games that I got that are a bunch of horror FMV style adventure point and click games. The reason why I got that 5-pack was because, let me see, that's better. The reason why I got the 5-pack was because of this particular game. I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. I watch a YouTube channel that showcased the story that they described as one of the most horrific stories that you could ever hear, and it was basically the narrative to that particular game. And when I saw that it was a game, I said I must play it because the storyline is very interesting. Basically, it takes place in the far future. By then, mankind has been almost wiped out with the exception of five humans. The computers have taken over, and this one sentient computer has these 5 people like bound to him or to the computer, and so these 5 individuals are a set of individuals that have lived for several hundred years. I guess the computer has kept them alive for that long. And anyways, the story is very interesting. Now, Harvester was a story that I heard. I believe this one, you play a young kid that you're from a town that I guess is overrun by a cult. And then Bad Mojo, you actually get cursed and you get turned into a roach or a bug. So you technically play as a bug. So it seemed very interesting. 11th Hour, that's a continuation to another game. I forgot the name of the other one. But they say that was not too good. So I don't know about that one. And then Noctropolis, that one, I'm not really sure what that one's about. Let me see. We can always, like with these, this is good because we can get the game info. So it's in a world of comic books that are real. The final issue is evil. So let's go to the store page and see what that's about. So it looks kind of like it's a point and click. So yeah, so it's kind of based in a comic book point and click action. Oh, it looks pretty cool. So yeah, that one looks interesting. So that's that one. And then I also bought then in the set I bought Mega Man X Dive. So basically this is if you guys, this one was available for excuse me, it's available for iOS devices and Android a while back. It's basically like Mega Man X. You're a game player who's playing Mega Man X, and all of a sudden you get sucked into the video game because like an evil virus took over the system, and you play as Mega Man X. You control Mega Man X to try to figure out what's going on, why there's a virus. So very interesting one, but very even though it says that it's playable on Steam, it's really, you still need to point and click. So you need to have I would suggest it would be a game that uses both a mouse and whatnot. So yeah, and then the next set of games that I got, Children of Silent Town, which is this one. I got that one first before the other ones. Let's see what this one's about. So basically, I know that this is like a horror Children's Soundtrack is a dark adventure game that tells the story of Lucy, a girl growing up in a village deep in the forest inhabited by monsters. So people are disappearing and nothing is uncommon here, uncommon there. But this time Lucy's old enough to investigate her own, or so she thinks. Oh, very interesting. Let's see. Let's see if we have any visuals to see how the game looks. This is the beauty of having this theme. So yeah, it's like a adventure RPG game where you talk to people and find out what's going on. Like a platformer adventure puzzler. Very interesting game. And then the next one that I got, of course, Black Skylands. This one right here, I think this one's an action RPG. Let's go to the game info. Become the captain of an airship and explore the world of the skies. Gather resources and build powerful weapons. Uncover ancient secrets and fight beneath your ship's sails. Oh, let's see. All right. So yeah, so then you go exploring. Is this kind of like a... Oh yes, okay, I remember this one. So this one's kind of like it looks similar to a twin stick shooter that takes place, like little battles that you take place in areas. So if you guys ever played Minecraft Dungeons, it reminds me of that. So yeah, very interesting. Okay, yeah, that's right. Forgot about that one. Let's see. What's the next one that I bought? Story. Okay, so the story of Gods, the RPG musical. This was basically a very funny, quirky adventure point and click game where you play as several gods, and the way that you respond is by singing to the people, to the NPCs. So yes, gods, romance, murder, musical numbers. Play as Grace in a world where Greek gods live in hiding amongst us. Change your fate as you draw friends, foes, and lovers into song using your powers of musical persuasion to unravel the mystery of the last muse's death. Ooh, very interesting one. Let's go to the store page. But yeah, this one, it was interesting. I remember this one. This one caught my eye. You basically kind of like play, and then they respond to you by singing, and you get to choose commands and answers. So very nice art on these games so far. So yeah, very interesting. And then the other one that I got, You Suck at Parking. That one is a puzzle action game where is it? There we go. So You Suck at Parking is basically like a puzzle game where you need to go around certain sections of the road, and you have to park in certain areas. It's like a racing game. And you're by yourself, but you have to race against time to kind of like park correctly in certain parking spots. How can I explain it? It's very interesting. This one caught my eye. Let's see. There it is. So see right there where you see the little car driving to that spot. So you got to make sure you drive to it before the time runs out. And you get certain areas. So I guess that's co-op. You can play co-op. And you go into the map and you got to go they'll pop in certain orders, the parking spaces. So you have to get in there. So it looked really fun, like a fun puzzle game. And then finally, Dreamscaper. This one is actually an action RPG that looked very interesting. So yeah, so you know, by night delve deep into your subconscious and discover powerful artifacts to conquer your nightmares. By day, explore the city of Red Haven and build relationships to unlock the power of your dreams. Dream, die, wake, repeat. So yeah, so you go to sleep, you battle, then when you wake up, you go exploring. It's a very fun, interesting action hack and slash RPG. Roguelike. They say roguelike, but it looks more like hack and slash. But it looks fun. But yeah, very interesting. So these are the games that I got for November 2024 digitally. Let me turn off my console because this thing is dying and I don't want it to die. I got to do a couple of things on this one. So far, this one is very useful when recording video game gameplays. However, I record through Decky Record, and somehow They can record has been really bad on the console these last couple of days. So I don't know if a particular update might have messed it up. So I got to go back and kind of check it. Maybe I'll download a downgrade the version of it and maybe it'll work better. So let's see how that goes. But that's that. So let's get on with the physical games. First of all, in the beginning of the month, I bought a set of 2 games for the DS. They are Zubo and Teenage Zombies. Now, Teenage Zombies is like a platformer based on a cartoon, I believe. I'm not that familiar. Invasion of the Alien Brain. What? Things. Vision of the Alien Brain things. So this one is a platformer based off a TV show. I've never seen it. So yeah, I don't know about that one. You guys can comment below if you guys know more of it. I saw the cuts of the game earlier, and it looked pretty interesting. And then Zubo, this one's a puzzler. But man, my brain is just out because I bought so many games. I can't remember how that one looked, but it was cheap. I got these for really cheap. Let me see. Excuse me. Then the next game that I got was Gundam Journey to Jaboro for the PlayStation 2. This one is actually an action adventure game based on the first season of the Gundam anime. So Gundam is a series that I've known of for many, many years. I own games for it previously. The one that I know that I played a lot was for the PS1, Gundam Char's Counterattack. I own that one in Japanese, but I don't really know what the story is about. And to be honest with you, I know of the anime. I know the many side stories. I know there's a ton of video games on the series, but I wanted to play this one because this one I believe is the one that kind of dictates the first season. And it has anime sequences and whatnot. So looking forward to playing that one. Next one is another game that caught my eye called Treasures of the Deep for the PS1. This one you play as a diver who goes around getting treasures in an underwater map. You got to get all the treasures, avoiding obstacles, avoiding sharks and different animals. So yeah, this is one that caught my attention as well. For the PS1. Let's see what else I got. The next one I got was a game for the Sega, for the Sega Game Gear. Desert Speed Trap with the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. This one seems very fun. It's a platformer. You play as the Roadrunner trying to avoid Wile E. Coyote and other traps. Very similar to... it reminds me of a Sonic game because you go really fast and whatnot. But look pretty fun. One thing to say, I have a very small collection of Sega Game Gear games. However, almost all of my Sega Game Gear games have been very, very fun. I don't have I'm gonna be honest with you. I have a lot of fun with the Game Gear games that I've owned so far. Almost every... There's a couple that I haven't played. I own right now, I own about 13 games. And out of the 13 games, I haven't played about... I would say no more than 5. But no more than 3 to 5 games. Now that I'm buying more. And every single game has been very interesting and fun. So I'm very... happy with my collection of Sega Game Gear games. Will be a cool thing to do. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you guys will be interesting to see my Sega Game Gear collection. I got some pretty cool games. Anyways, the next game that I got was a shooter that I know about that I really, really enjoy. It is Gradius 3 and 4 for the PS2. It's a collection of both games. These are side-scrolling shooters, and I'm beginning to really enjoy shoot 'em ups. So this is one that I wanted to play. Classic Gradius, but two games in one. So very interested in playing that one. Now, another shooter that I got is Mobile Light Force for the PlayStation 2. This one, I believe, this one is a top-down shooter, I believe. can't remember, but it caught my attention. It's another shooter. So, yeah, looking forward to playing these. Whether they're top-down side scrollers, I have a lot of fun with these. So, yeah. Then the next game, I don't know if you guys remember that last month I bought the computer PC version of this game. Now I own the PS1 version, Tomb Raider 2. So, yes. So now I own the PS1 version of it. So, yeah, enough said for that one. No introduction for that one. Then the next game that I got, okay, this one is a very interesting game that I got. And I won a very low bid because it's loose in the cartridge, and that is Nintendo Switch. If you guys can see, Into the Dead 2 for the Nintendo Switch. This one basically is like a run. It's kind of like a runner where you're trying to avoid zombies and whatnot, but it's also a shooter. So it looked very interesting, and you follow like a map to lead you to a destination. I believe you're trying to get to your daughter or to a relative. Can't remember the story, but one of the cool things is that this game has a mode where you can play the same type of game, but as a Ghostbusters theme. So it was really, really cool. So very looking forward to playing this particular game. First, I believe it's like a first person, or like it's just a runner, like a overhead runner, rail type shooter. So yeah. Then the next game that I got, let me see right here, because I got a couple. The next game that I got that I'm looking forward to playing, I need to play these, is for the Wii Trauma Center New Blood. For the Wii. I love the Trauma Center series. You play in these games, you play as a doctor where you have to do certain operations, certain incisions, certain tumor removals, things like that. And it's used, but in very good condition. So looking forward to playing this one. Then I've never played the Wii games. I have the other one for the Wii Trauma Center. I have the other ones, but I never played them yet. So I'm looking forward to playing that one and the other ones as well. The next game, this one I just bought because I just needed to do my collection of my Wii U games. I'm getting so close in having almost all the North America release Wii U games. And I had to add this one, Zumba Fitness World Party. Enough said about that one. I really don't care about it. I just got it because it was really cheap and I needed to fill my collection, unfortunately. I don't mind those games, so yeah. Another Nintendo Switch that I got loose that I won for like a couple of bucks, very cheap, is NBA 2K18. So not really much into sports games. I like basketball games on video game consoles, but at least, you know, I got it for super cheap. And any Switch games you can get for cheap, guys, get them, because Nintendo Switch games don't really depreciate in value that much, and they're very expensive. No matter what you guys get. So yeah, I got NBA 2K18 for the Switch. So if you're able to see anything on the cheap, get it, grab it. Is pretty worth it. This is another game that I've been looking for quite some time, and I finally found a cheap copy, and that is Taifu, The Wrath of the Tiger for the PS1. This one is a platformer, overhead platformer, 2.5D style game. You play as Taifu, who they say that the storyline is very similar to Kung Fu Panda. They claim that they think that Kung Fu Panda, the DreamWorks, stole the idea from Taifu. And it's very similar in story, I guess, from what I heard. But looking forward to playing this one, because this is a game that I've seen for quite some time, and I kept forgetting about it, but I ended up grabbing it. So yeah. Let's see what else. This one's another one that I've been looking at for quite some time, and I finally obtained a copy. But one of the reasons why I didn't get it is because they said that the game series is super long, but it's still good, and that is the Banner Saga Trilogy for the PS4. Now, this one includes like a bunch of add-ons, you know, like mini art book, collectible poster. So it has a bunch of things. I got it complete. And it's basically like it's an RPG, I guess. I thought it was more like a strategy RPG, but I'm looking forward to playing this one because I saw previews of it, and it looked pretty interesting. So yeah, got me that copy. Another game that caught my eye, that was one of those that I just bought off the blue because it really interested me. It is Kingdoms Amalur: The Re-Reckoning for the PS4. This one is a hack and slash action RPG, and it reminds me a lot of God of War. So yeah, if you guys want to see the story, what it's about, I just got it because the gameplay looked pretty cool. I didn't see the information on it, but I saw that it was from creators of Todd McFarlane, Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion, from Spawn. So it's gonna be interesting. See how that goes. This other game I won for a good price on a bid, and it's a game that I've known of for a while. I forgot about it, and when I saw it up, I decided to get it because it's one of those interesting games. And that is Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of the Were-Rat for the PS2. Got a complete copy for a really good price and really neat shape. And it's based on the Wallace and Gromit cartoon. It's a 3D action platformer. What you have to do: deep into the unique world of Wallace and Gromit. So you have to unravel the eerie events that surround the giant vegetable competition. So interesting. So they have to uncover what happened, those events. Really want to play that one. And because I bought that one, the seller was so kind that they gave me a copy of NCAA Football 06 for the PS2. Got it for free. Hey, can't complain. Another sports game, really cool. I like football games, so there you go. And then this one. This is a game that I've owned back in the days when it's for the PS1. I owned this one back in the days. It's a game that me and my friend kind of make fun of the title because it has a funny title, but the game is really fun. It's an RPG. It's one of those memorable RPGs for me that I played back in the days, although I had forgotten what the game is about. But I know that the game was pretty interesting. Like in my head, I remember the gameplay, and I liked it a lot. It's one of the early RPGs I had for the PS1, and that game is Beyond the Beyond for the PS1. We always make fun of the title, always say Beyond the Beyond, me and my friend. So if my friends listening out there, give me a comment about the Beyond the Beyond. Because this one, if you watch, man, but he'll probably laugh at the title. This is like a funny title between us. But this is a JRPG, typical save the world style RPG. But the gameplay of it's a 2D, but has very good graphics for the PlayStation 1 for that time. So yeah, got it back. Got it for a nice price. And then this other game, this one right here, I've known about it. And I hear that it's not a very good game, but because it's this franchise that I really love, I decided to get it because it was going for super cheap, and that is The Simpsons Skateboarding for the PS2. When my son saw that I got this one, it kind of sparked this curiosity. He's like, "Oh, okay, it's a skateboarding game, kind of like Tony Hawk, but probably worse than Tony Hawk." So, but it's based on the Simpsons character, so can't complain. Would like to play this one a little bit and see how it is. And then this is another one that I thought I owned back in the days, but I did not. And it's a game that I actually remembered when I saw it at the store when I visited the local retro game shop store. Let me take the sticker out of this because I don't like that. It's gonna leave a kind of nasty looking sticky mark. But anyways, this one, and I got it for really cheap because it came with the instructions and the disc. So that game is Excalibur 2555 AD. This one is a action adventure, I want to say maybe RPG style game. I thought I owned this one, but I guess I never did own it. Oh, the instruction manual is kind of fell apart. But hey, it's there. So let me see. The game screen. It gives you... Yeah, it's just very... It's very bland. So it's kind of... Yeah, it's kind of bland. It's interesting. Doesn't even give you... Oh, here's the story. Let's see. No. Introduction. Yeah, where's the introduction? Excalibur, the Legend of Excalibur. So I guess it's the Legend of Excalibur in the futuristic times. So yeah, I look forward to playing this one. This is one that I've had an eye out for many years. Kept forgetting about it, but it came really. I got it really cheap. So yeah, and with it that day, because it's a sale that I got, buy two get one free. This was one of those games that I saw at the retro store that caught my eye, and I wasn't sure whether or not to get it, but I did get it, and that's the Flintstones, the movie, for the Game Boy. This one's a 2D side-scrolling platformer based on the Flintstones, based on the movie version of it. I saw gameplays of this game, and it didn't look that bad. So hopefully, I'm not, I don't regret getting it. But this was probably one of the more expensive of the three. And then I have this one right here. A very interesting one. Justice League Chronicles for the Game Boy Advance. This one reminds me a lot of the Uncanny X-Men for the NES, but I hope it's not like it. It looked better than that, so hopefully it's not, because that game, I should do a review of that about that one. I'm not too fond of that game, so that's for a story for another day. So got that one. And then for the PS Vita, I bought this at GameStop. You know how GameStop has those retro games? This one place that I go to, this one GameStop, has a bunch of these games. And they had a copy of Nor 9 for the Vita, VAR Commons. Basically, I guess you're a young man who ends up in an island. And I think he's trying to find a girlfriend. Yeah, he meets like 3 young women and 9 young men. Okay. They bring him along in a journey into the sky. Okay, I don't know what that's gonna be about, but hey, it seems that the story seems funny, interesting, or whatnot. But anyways, I'm collecting Vita games, so Vita games don't come cheap. So to find this one at a decent price was cool by me. So Nor 9, it is what it is. Let's see what that's about. Anyways, let's see what other games I have. Give me 1 second. Gotta take a chug of that water. So here we go. The next game I got, I bought a Famicom game for the NES, and this one I played already. You can find it in those like 1001 emulators and whatnot, but I got the actual cartridge to it because it looked pretty cool, and I played it, and it's pretty cool. It's a puzzle game called Door for the Famicom. So you're basically this one little character that's trying to trap monsters inside of a door, and once you clear the little area, then you go move on to the next stage. It's actually a 2D side-scroller style puzzle game in one screen. So yeah, looked pretty interesting, and I got it for a good price. Now this next one. This one I own digitally. This one is considered to be a limited run game. However, it did come out years ago for the Wii, and I own the digital download of it on the Xbox One. It's a game that I still have to go back and finish, but I wanted a physical copy of it because I thought it was really... I think this game is really cool, and that is A Boy and His Blob for the Wii. Yes, I got a complete copy for it in good shape. Basically, it's kind of like a reimagining of the original Boy and the Blob game, where you feed the little blob alien jelly beans and he turns into different things. This one's a little bit different than the original NES version of it. So yes, it's a reimagining of it. It's a fun game. This one, I do recommend it. And I know that Limited Run created the Nintendo Switch version of it, or the PS4 versions of those. I don't know, but there's a Limited Run version to that game. So yeah. Now, here's the bread and butter of the games that I bought. I bought another pile of extra games for super cheap. I mean, and one of those games that's included in this little bundle of games that I bought, I believe it's expensive. It's an expensive game. And mind you, I got the bundle for peanuts, if that's the case. If not, then I got it for a decent price. Nonetheless, I paid very little for it, and I won the bid. And it's a bunch of PS1, PS2 games. So let's begin because there's several. First one is Missile Command for the PS1. It's basically based on the Atari version of Missile Command. I believe this one's a shooter where you have to shoot off missiles that come off on the screen. Then the next one that I got is Omega Boost. Ah, man, I don't know if this is a shooter. I don't know what this game is. I know I've heard of it before, but forgive me for not knowing what this one's about. And then the next game that I got is Ridge Racer, which is a racing game for the PS1. Basically a racing game. Then the next one, this is one of the games I wanted. Army Man World War for the PS1. So I'm collecting the Army Men games because they all look interesting. So this is one that caught my eye. But here's the one that I think is worth some money, I believe. Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman. Okay, this one right here, I believe is going for a few dollars. Please quote me if I'm wrong. Please let me know in the comments below. This one right here, many years ago, back in my PS1 era days, a friend of mine had this game. He let me borrow it, and I knew about burning games. So I burned a copy of Rising Zan. And I remember playing it, and it had played okay, but it was really weird because the main story is like it takes place in the Wild West. You're this samurai cowboy, and it's a hack and slash 3D action game. I thought it was weird but interesting, but because that one game copy didn't play that well when I burned it, I still own it to this day, the burnt copy. I never went back to play it, so I really want to play that one. Then there was another game I'll show you right now, Motor Racer World Tour for the PS1. This one's a bike racing game. I believe I've heard of this game, and they said it's pretty decent. Then this one's Streak Hoverboard Racing. I heard okay things. Another PS1 game. But I've never played it. It's snowboarding, so yeah, it's a couple of sports games, and I'm like, whatever. But then Motocross Mania, I believe I'm confusing Motocross Mania with Moto Racer. One of these two games, they say that it's good. So yeah, and then funny enough, there is an underground, a PlayStation Underground CD. Disc 1. So the disc 1 of the PlayStation Underground sampler CD. I don't know what games it includes. Nah, it doesn't tell you here. So very interesting. So I wonder, I'm curious to explore that one. Would be interesting to do a video, about that one. There's a lot of these CDs going for really cheap. So back in the days, some of these were like the magazines, or they used to be your quote-unquote magazines. And it'll be in a disc form, so it's interesting media. And then this one, Tenchu, the Stealth Assassin, Stealth Assassins. This is a game, not expensive, but one that I hear a lot about. It's another, I believe this one is. Oh my goodness! I know I've seen gameplay of this one in the past, but I wanna say that this one's similar to like Metal Gear Solid or the Metal Gear games, where it's kind of stealthy and you go around sneaking and killing enemies. Quote me if I'm wrong on that one. And then another This one for the PlayStation 2, issue 72 of PlayStation Magazine. So I got that issue. Interesting to see what that is. And then, of course, 007 double oh 007, The World Is Not Enough. Action adventure based on the 007 movie. Interesting to play that one. This one, Kiss Pinball. I hear that this is a really bad pinball game because I mean, I've been curious about it, but they said that this one right here, it doesn't feature any music of Kiss or anything. However, they say that you can swap the disc and put your own music CD, and you can still play the pinball game while listening to your own music. I believe that you can do that to that one. So it's a pinball game based on the Kiss, based on Kiss. So let's see how that one goes. And then Crusaders of Might and Magic, for the PlayStation, an RPG game, I believe, based on the Might and Magic series. And then Lego Island 2, this one of the early iterations of Lego games. I believe this one allowed you to build a Lego city or whatnot. Way back in the days, I can't remember. I know I've played one of them or I've seen them before. It's been a long time for that one. And then finally, Spec Ops. Which one is this one? Spec Ops Ranger Elite. So this one is like similar to Call of Duty games and whatnot. All this pile of games, I got it for, man, I want to say less than $15. Probably like $10. It went really cheap and they gave me the case. So I'm very, very happy with this buy because it has some decent games in here. Some interesting stuff. So, and the discs are in pretty good shape. So, yeah, hopefully, let's see how those games are. I just added a bunch of games to my PS1 collection. And then moving right along, another PS1 game that I hear that is pretty good. Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And it says a special bonus. What? Focus. Oh, a music video. Duel of the Fates. Hey. So it has some music video in there. So this one actually, unlike, and it's just the manual in the game. This one's based off the movie. Now we got the Phantom Menace Racer, like on the Nintendo 64. This one's an action adventure game, so based on the movie. So looking forward to playing this one. I got several Star Wars games I need to start playing, and they've caught my attention. And another PS1 game that I'm a little bit disappointed on how it came, but it was my bad, but still, and I've always wanted to play Chicken Run for the PlayStation 1, based on that funny movie of Chicken Run. I believe this came out during Thanksgiving, which by the time this video comes out, it'll be close to Thanksgiving. So basically, you play the chickens who are trying to escape the chicken coop before they become dinner. So this movie, actually, I love this movie. This movie's really good, and I hear that the game's pretty decent too. So looking forward to play that one. And then I won a bid, another Nintendo Switch game that I won the bid for really cheap, brand new, a game that I've seen my son play on his iPad. This type of game, and that is Super Monkey Ball Banana Mania for the Switch. Got it brand new. Now my son, I kind of got it because my son's playing this one similar game where you control a little marble around a stage before they fall. So yeah, this one, and I like playing Super Monkey Ball. I play those in the arcades and whatnot. So it's a pretty fun game. The object of the game is that you control your little monkey dude that's inside of the ball, and you have to make it through stages without falling off, and collect certain bananas and to gain points and extra things, and make it to the end of the stage. So really fun, but very difficult game. Now this other game I got for really cheap, for the Xbox 360. It's basically a shooter, like a 3D shooter, kind of similar to like the Resident Evil games. Remember Me, for the Xbox 360. Got it for a really cheap price. Basically, I want to say this one is you play as a girl, either she's a detective, I forgot what she was, or an agent, and she catches amnesia, so she has to find her memories and figure out what's going on. So the story seemed very interesting on that one. Like I said, anybody, if you guys want to correct me, if I'm wrong on these games, what the games are about, please bear with me, because I get so many games, and I know that during the time when I buy them, they catch my attention and they catch my eye, and I may forget by the time I do the videos. I may forget a little bit what the games are about, but please just remind me below. I don't mind if you guys tell me, hey, Eric, this game's about this. You made a mistake, I'll appreciate it, you guys, be good. And then this one, this one, 101. 101 Dalmatians 2, Patches London Adventure for the PlayStation 1. And it doesn't have the manual, but it has the original case. So basically, you go in London out to find the rest of your brothers and sisters, by doing little acrobatic moves and little moves. It's, I want to say this is a platformer. Either a platformer or like a 3D platformer. I've seen gameplay of this before. Some people say it's good, some people say not. So one of the funny things about this game is that when I bought it, the seller sent me a little note. He said, "Hope you enjoy the game." He said something like this, and it was hilarious. "Hope you enjoy the game as much as I enjoyed," either something like saying you could use it as a coaster, or like they probably didn't like this game at all. So I thought I should have saved the note. It was very funny. So to that seller, you got a sense of humor. Yeah, and then I got this one game for the Nintendo 64 to add to the collection, Hybrid Heaven. This one, I want to say this was like an adventure RPG game that's based in the future. Oh my goodness. Like I have the images of the gameplay in my head. But basically it's like an action adventure, 3D action adventure game. And it caught my attention. It reminded me, okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say maybe it's similar to it. Have you guys ever played the Grand Stream Saga for the PS1? It gives me those vibes of the gameplay style. Not how the game is, but the gameplay style. So, it looked interesting to me. And that's another game that the Grand Stream Saga is another interesting game. But another story for another day. Another game that I got for the Army Men, Sarge's Heroes for the PlayStation 1. Army Men, I'm collecting them all. Basically, this is the first one of the series of Sarge's Heroes, based on that little mini sub-series. And I really want to play all of them because a lot of people say these games are great. And they've always caught my attention, but there's so many of them that I get them confused. So I got to be careful when I get them. But I know that I think for the Nintendo 64, I have part 2. And now I have part 1. So, yeah. And I don't like, sometimes I buy the sequels before I buy the originals. But, yeah. Let me take another swing. All this talking, but next game that I got is a Nintendo Switch game that really caught my attention, called Riot Civil Unrest for the Switch. Basically, you take part of either being the rioters or being the police. I want to say you take part of either one. Oh, let me see how this says. Yeah, so you could play either or as the police or the mass rioters. And you have to find a way to calm or quell the situation. You could do a peaceful riot, the police won't do much to you. Then they'll start beating you up or whatever, just like in a riot. So this game seemed interesting to me. But they say that it's a little bit of a difficulty curve on the game. And then again, another sequel that eventually I'm gonna get the first part of it, and that is Gundam Battle Assault 2 for the PlayStation. It's basically based, of course, on the Gundam series. I'm gonna say this is like battle scenarios in a 3D environment, and I don't know if it's like a one-on-one type of thing, but it seems like very interesting. So it'll say right here, yeah, it says street mode, versus mode. So and you get like different. Oh, there's three storylines. So okay, pretty interesting. So it looks like it could be an action game, not a fighting game, but action game. Very interesting. I'm telling you, these Gundam games really caught my interest. I remember the Gundam has a series called Robot War or Robot Tyson. I forgot. Super Robot Tyson. They and those are the ones for the Game Boy that are very interesting, but they're more of a I think they're part of the same universe. And then of course I got this one was a game that I had my eye on for a while. I did my video on the Rocky game for the Sega Master System. They made one for the PlayStation 2. And this one says that it follows plots of all the movies in one. Probably similar to the Sega Master System version, but more vamped up. It looked pretty decent. Reminds me of more like Punch Out. Like maybe they did it more of a similar Punch Out style, hopefully, because the side scrolling that they did in the Sega Master System didn't kind of fly with me. So I'm looking forward to play this one. I love the Rocky movies, so yeah. And then the next game that I got, and this one is, I own the other ones, and that is the Nonary games for the PS4. Now I own the Vita. They originally came out in the Vita. It's, I believe, 9 Doors 9 something or something like that. I own the Vita versions of the trilogy, and I was missing this one, and so I finally, yeah. So it's right here. Two sets of 9 unwilling participants kidnapped. So yeah. So it's in the boat. Yes, it is the 9 hours. So this is it. 9 hours, 9 doors, 9 whatever. So I started playing this one in the Vita, either in the Vita or in the 3DS. Like I downloaded the game, right? And basically you're a group of individuals who are they get kidnapped and they're trapped in a boat and they're trying to find a way out. And each of it has to do with numbers. So yes, this one is a very interesting game, and I don't own a copy of it, but I really wanted the physical copy of it. Haven't finished it, but it's a very interesting game. So this one's on the PS4, the other ones are on the Vita, I believe. So I wanted to play this one before playing the other ones. Glad that I got it. And then finally, now we're at the end. I got, for the Sega Saturn, I got Myst. Myst is a point-and-click adventure game. Back in those days, Myst was considered to be a very, very beautiful game, or a very nice game for that time. But I've always wanted to play that. There's also the sequels, which is Raven, I believe, or... Oh my goodness, it has sequels to it, but Myst is the first one of the games, and I believe they all came out in the Saturn. They came out on different consoles, but yeah, this is one that I'm curious to play. But anyways, guys, that is my collection of games that I got for the month of November 2024. Now, couple of updates. I'm gonna be doing more Transformer reviews. I'm going to try to, because I'm getting a little bit bored of making just pure video game reviews. I want to switch it out to Transformers and other things. Now, after looking at the Game Gear games, I may look into showing you my collection of Game Gear games that I own thus far. I'll do that. Or showing you something what I got, my new collection thus far. And of course, I'll be doing that. I'll be getting more games. I'm gonna probably get for December. I'm gonna have probably a big pile like this one, and of course, there's gonna be more game reviews on old school Nintendo games. Couple of games out there. So yeah, look forward to that. Again, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Moving forward, I'll be leaving the links to my other my family's other channels. Lily, a simple mom. My daughter Lexi is doing videos as well, and so is my son Logan. Logan's channel is Logan's Toy Box Review. Lexi is Lexi's Toy Box Review, and Lily, a simple mom. Please like and subscribe to their channels. I also come out in those channels as well, helping out my kids. So yeah, look forward to those. Down there in the description below, I'll put the links. But thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving with your family, your friends, and your loved ones. Have fun. Don't eat too much turkey. Don't get those guys from Chicken Run running away. You know, cool movie to watch at that time. Maybe watch that movie, you guys. I recommend that movie. It's a fun one for the kids and the family. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. Peace out.